Welcome back to another video. I got my guy Brandon from the Ramen Bowl here. You may know him as Chalkrah. Brandon, thanks for coming back.
Yeah, man. Happy to be here. Happy to be here.
Yeah. So in today's video, we're just going to be talking about Worlds, kind of what's going to be going down at Worlds, talk a little bit about who we think might win Worlds, like what leader might win, and we're going to be diving into the spicy topic of the announced ban list for Worlds. So a little bit of a spicy little talk here today, huh?
Oh man, I think the whole community is clamoring about this ban list, and I'm
Yes,
excited.
that's
I
true.
think everyone is just like, kill yellow, kill yellow, please. So
Yeah, so
that's the
we'll
big kind of thing, I
yeah,
think.
we'll get into it. I'm kind of excited too. As long as Yellow Green Yamato can still thrive, I will be glad about whatever happens. But yeah, before we jump into like the ban list and the spiciness of everything, let's just talk about like Worlds a little bit. What we're kind of expecting. I'm gonna be at Worlds.
Oh,
I
so
forgot we
jealous.
we were talking earlier, but I forgot. Yeah, I'm gonna be at the 3-on-3 tournament with some friends and kind of hopping around and saying hi to people. Hopefully, I'll be able to meet up with some of the Americans coming over and stuff. But I do have a few like Japanese people that I know as well that I'm gonna go meet. So I'm really excited about that too.
Oh, what an experience, man! The first ever Worlds for One Piece
Yeah,
card game. That's super cool, man.
crazy.
Yep, for
Yeah, the
sure.
fact that we got into the 3-on-3 tournament itself is kind of a miracle since there was like thousands and thousands and thousands of people that tried to get into that lottery.
That's
So
wild.
yeah, when my friend texted me and was like, "We're in," I was like,
Oh,
"Wow,
so
that's
is that is
crazy!"
that so is that how they did it though? You guys all put your names in the lottery. One person got chosen, so that means he could choose his two teammates for the 3v3, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, we signed up as a team, so
Gotcha.
like
So
one
as long
person
as one
does
person
it,
hits
and
it, the
then the
team's
other
good.
people just go in. Yeah, all three of us had to sign up, but yeah, you sign up like together as a team.
Gotcha.
Um, but he just I didn't see the message yet. He had just texted me about it. Um, and for anyone who's coming to Worlds, if you happen to be watching this video from like if you're outside of Japan, unfortunately, I have talked to some people who are like actually kind of within the sphere of like Bandai and stuff, where like they don't even know about the spectator tickets and stuff like that. So I'm so sorry, but like there is such limited info on everything. But if you cannot get into any of the 3-on-3 or the flagship battles, you are probably going to be able to go the day of and participate in the matching battles, which is just like free play, and like the teaching events that are going on. So it seems the only thing on Bandai that I could find is for the teaching events. They're like, come to the event space on the day of, and you can get entry into the venue. So if you're a YouTuber or like somebody, a player that didn't get in and you're just trying to come and you just want to go to the world itself, you please do not take my word for this. But to the best of my ability, I looked everything up, and you probably can get in the day of if you do the matching battle or the teaching thing. So I just wanted to throw that out there real quick at the top.
No, for sure. And if we look at the other big
Yeah.
events that have happened, like I went to US Nationals,
Hmm.
obviously.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
I mean there will be some form of free play for people for sure. Bandai has done so
Yeah.
well with
Yeah.
this the Bandai Card Fest festivals they've been pushing around.
Uh huh.
They're making it very
Yeah.
easy for people who casually want to go enjoy the events to go out there. And
Hmm.
that's a really good thing
Yeah.
for them to do, because if they don't cater
Hmm.
to that audience and you just have these hardcore players fighting over spots, it's just not fun for anyone.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool that people that
Exactly.
I mean, I had friends who didn't make it into national signups that were able to go try the demos and go do, just walk the floor and do all the cool stuff. So
Yeah.
hopefully the Worlds will be the same, but I can't imagine how crazy it's going to be, and I'm sure Bandai is going to throw
Hmm.
a ton of resources at the production
Yes.
value and everything else. I hope, it's
Oh, yeah.
Worlds, and this is a
No, they're
very big
losing
year for
money.
them.
They're losing money on it, that's for sure,
Oh
but in a
yeah,
good way, as in
yeah,
like even the participation prizes that you can get from the matching battles is like pretty insane. Like if you
yeah,
win a
yeah. I
couple
saw that,
games,
the Dawn. Yeah, you can get the
yeah,
cool unique Dawn, and there's a
yeah.
couple promo cards I saw,
There's
something
a
along
few.
those
There's gonna
lines.
be some promo cards. Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure everything that'll be there, but so like, don't feel discouraged if you wanna just. I mean, this is for such a select few group of people, but yeah. the card fests are looking awesome, and I cannot wait to go to work. I'm so excited, dude. I'm gonna try and record as much as I can, do like a little video of it and stuff.
Looking forward to
Yeah,
that update
I have
video,
to.
man. I can't wait. You're gonna have to
I
do
have
some
to wake up at like.
live footage, man. You're gonna have to stream it for sure.
Yeah, I'll try. I'll try. I don't know how long the 3-on-3 tournament's gonna take, but we're going casually, so we may end up like going X3 and dropping out or whatever. I don't even know how it's gonna be, but I have to wake up at like 4 in the morning.
Go for gold.
To get there.
Same thing for Nats, man.
I will. I'll
be
be
in LA. It was like everyone, dude. People were lined up outside the venue for hours. Luckily, I went the night before because I flew in that night. Got all my badges, registration.
Oh, okay.
Walked in the next morning. Didn't have to
that's...
wait. Thank God. But there were people.
That's 5 head, bro.
Yeah, who did not do that. Who were
and who couldn't do that too either.
Literally.
Probably some people who could only get there the day of.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
No,
that's fun times
awesome.
ahead, man.
I'm super
fun
excited.
Times ahead. But
yeah.
Speaking of worlds,
and
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, man.
So we have Jackson and Jonas are going for America. I don't know all of the other Asian players, but Tsuki Usagi-san, who the guy who just won Japanese Nats, and then the other top 5, which is I know Japan gets 6 people, which is seems a little unfair.
Japan gets 6
Dude, the top 6. Yeah. Yes.
Tell me Bandai doesn't love Japan more than
somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's top 6.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Hey, everyone else you get 2. You get 2. But no, we get 6 for Japan. No, I mean,
think 4. I think 4 would be fair because it's from Japan.
Yeah.
You get a home field advantage. Maybe 4 people, sure, but 6 is damn, bro.
That's oppressive.
And all of Asia had to compete against each other to get their own 2 spots. You know what I mean? It wasn't like 2 people from Singapore, 2 people from Thailand. It was like
just
all
Asia.
of Asia.
Yeah, that's true actually.
Yeah,
wow.
essentially.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Maybe it was the 2 tournaments because I know there was the Singapore Card Fest and then there was another one more recently. I'm not 100% sure. I'm hoping to do some research soon to see exactly who all is going because I'm really interested in that. But yeah, at least for America. And, I live in Japan, right? But I'm American, so I will definitely be rooting for, the Americans. Yep. If an American or a Japanese person wins, I'll be happy, right?
Sure.
Yeah, just because Japan is, kind of my home now, and I got to represent Japan a little bit, but I'll put America first.
Obviously, right? You got to root for the home team, but also support the Japanese players. I get it. But I will say...
My wife is Japanese, too, so it's I do feel, I have some, Japanese connection. Yeah, sure. I'm slowly turning Japanese, as they say. Yep.
So for anyone who remembers the last video where I was on for the tier list, we made some prediction who we thought was going to win the North American Nats, and I'll just I got it, buddy. I called an L. I'm just saying, but being there in the audience, shouting out Giannis, bro, seeing him hit the Ohm holy combos and everything he needed to be able to push for game
every time. That was crazy.
3 Yamatos to win the last game.
3 Yamatos in a row, bro.
Dude, I have to say I was a little bit biased because I loved seeing I liked seeing Sakazuki lose. I'm tired of him winning every event.
I was rooting for an L for sure.
It was and when we made that underdog, but he's not. It's just not the best deck in format. I think unequivocally, we could say Sakazuki is still the best.
That's a good way to say it.
But exactly, but it was cool. It was cool to see Jonas, play a yellow deck all the way through at that highest level, dude. Crazy, absolutely crazy. But it was cool to see Gavin.
Just watching
Gavin
on stream, even you could hear. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Gavin doing English commentary was so weird for me to listen to.
For sure. But
funny.
Not only just that, the dude, I think he's got some of the best takes in the the One Piece
really good knowledge about the game.
Oh, it was really nice seeing that because I'm like, damn, it is good to see a guy who's genuinely understands the game at that core level and is really giving great call outs about the players and him watching them, and I was like, damn, pretty cool. But I will say I'm a Jackson Huang fan. The guy is
Japanese too.
That dude's a nice dude. So as much as I was rooting for the NL, Jackson Huang, I think he could take it all the way through Worlds.
Oh yeah,
he's an incredible player. He's literally he's insane.
Just thinking about it, so let's segue into who do you think's gonna win? Not necessarily person wise, just leader in general. Who do you think is gonna win Worlds?
Well,
we don't have all the info yet because it matters a lot who is actually going for this kind of a small tournament. Sure. But if we just for a second, without like having done a lot of prior research, just kind of gut feeling, like who do you think might take Worlds leader wise?
So it's gonna be set 5 for people who didn't know, because set 5 is the current meta for US and everywhere outside of Asia. So that means the Asian players, I would almost consider Asia is at a disadvantage right now. Because when you get new cards,
I think a huge disadvantage.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. So when you get new cards added to a meta, your brain kind of like starts defaulting to how those decks play. And not saying that they're gonna lose like any of their skill, but there could be times in these high pressure situations where they will think that they start playing around cards that aren't in the meta. They start thinking about like, are they okay? It's like he's got this out. Exactly. So you could actually like kind of trip yourself up thinking about cards that aren't currently in that gameplay. Especially because EVO 1 just came out. Set 7 is dropping a week before Worlds, I think.
Yes, 7 will be out. They're going back 2 sets in order to play Worlds.
I mean, in my opinion,
it comes out
that's
next
tough.
weekend.
That's tough.
That's tough, man. It's not just one. It's literally one full set plus the extra booster, and then another full set releasing, and then they gotta go all the way back to 5. Obviously, those people are probably practicing a lot of just OPO5 right now.
Yeah, anyone. I'd be real. Anyone who's like playing at that level for the Worlds, they are playing OPO5 right now. There's no way that they have not reverted back and are practicing in that meta. But
they only get like 2 weeks because Nats just happened, so like 3 weeks essentially. So they gotta recycle all those skills within 3 weeks.
And sorry, Uta player, Uta deck is not legal. Actually, no, it might be. No, Uta is legal in US
I think it will be.
But the promos are not. That's the promos that you get from the Uta event have been pushed for legal date March. So as far as I know,
like the Luffy and stuff.
Yeah,
like
I mean, so at the regional, I'm sorry, at the online treasure cups that just happened, those cards are banned. Those Uta promos are not allowed in the event. So, and that's because there's not an easy way to get them. So they didn't want to let people have an advantage who had been able to get them.
Yeah.
So
especially for something like World.
So I guess it is interesting to think about. I'm like, does that hits Uta pretty hard, because there are some really good promos in those, like the one that restands all film characters. So, and it's weird that we have to like put Uta,
anywhere the wind blows or whatever.
Exactly. The fact that Uta is even in this conversation feels weird to me, right? I don't think Uta is a tier 1 deck, but it's gonna be a hot take already. But I can tell you right now,
sorry for the spice, everyone.
Uta, when high rolling Uta can be incredible. And it's because you have a lot of tempo. Being able to spawn bodies like you do. I mean, shit, dude. You drop 7-drop Luffy into 4-drop Brook into 3-drop Uta blocker super rare.
Uta blocker.
That right there is, I mean, think about the amount of Dawn that you essentially are getting from 7. You're getting 14 Dawn worth of cards on the field.
Well, You're
just essentially, if you raw played all those cards, right?
From 7, you get 7. Exactly.
Yes. So, I mean...
And you can restand Luffy with Uta, It's like the combo just like... It's like exponential combos from just playing that,
And you're netting a card every turn with the leader effect. You're netting a card with the leader effect. And I'm not going to sit here and say Uta's out of the running for winning. I don't think it's plausible that
not for
that
Worlds.
Someone's going to come in Worlds and win with Uta. But I don't think it's out of the ballpark of possibilities, if that makes sense.
It's a small possibility, maybe, but
I would do it.
Very, very, very unlikely.
The Japanese national, the guy who won for Japan. Imagine he just takes Uta all the way to Worlds. I'd respect the hell out of him. Be like, wow, go for it.
I would
take
too,
it. You're a god among card game players, because that's just nuts.
He said afterwards, he's like, I'm probably gonna go back to Sakazuki, but I'll have to kind of try and see what's up. Yeah, he immediately said that. He's like, Uta's not very good without EBO1, so I'm probably gonna go back to Sakazuki, but I'll do some testing and see what I like. But maybe he's just like god tier bluffing there, and he's like, I'm bringing Uta, bitches. No. So we don't know.
So I mean, really,
I don't think so though. Sokka's just too good in OPO5.
The same conversation that we've had previously about who's gonna win US. It's gonna come down to Sakazuki players, but someone's gonna 5-head this, and they're gonna play the anti-Sokka decks. Like they're gonna try Zoro. I'd be shocked if someone wasn't playing Zoro in Worlds, even though that's a
I would be too.
because there's gonna be an Enel. At least there'll be one Enel. I think Jonas will take Enel.
Probably.
I feel
like Jonas will go with Enel.
He was an amazing
just
yellow
because
player.
he's so comfortable with it. Yeah, and he's really good with Enel.
Yep. And I think anyone can learn Sakazuki. A lot of the plays, like there are many lines of play in Sakazuki, but I do think generally you have like 2 goals is to remove while adding a body to your side of the field, right? That's generally Sakazuki.
Yeah, the high efficiency plays. To gain You're trying to build up those high efficiency.
Exactly. It's like how much can you remove?
That's a good way of like simplifying it.
Yes. So in my mind, I'm like, it's not that complicated to play. It's more along the lines of like the luck involved in do you hit the right cards to be able to handle your opponent's field at that given time. And a lot of the time they can, because they can cycle their hand with the leader effect. So Sakazuki and Enel are by far the 2 top choices. Of course, it's OP05.
Yeah.
What would I like to, in my opinion, what would I like to see win? I think it would be hilarious to see Zoro. I think that would just be
I think it'd be great.
That'd be bonkers. The red has been shit.
That was actually going to be my choice.
Yeah. I could see it.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
If they make a meta call and they're like, damn, I'm going to go against Sakazuki after Sakazuki, and this guy is a god tier Zoro player, let it go. Let it go.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's 16 people, right? I believe it's 16.
I mean, let's see. 2 for America, 2 for Europe, 2 for Oceania, and then 6 for Asia. So
is it only 12?
It might only be 12. I don't know.
We might be forgetting something.
I don't know.
Because I think there's 2 separate tournaments from Asia, possibly. Well, regardless, it's 12 to 16 people, right? You could definitely bring Zoro to this tournament. Like what I was gonna say too. First of all, I like talking about Sakazuki. It's an extremely hard deck to play at the highest level, but its goals are simple. I think is one thing I wanted to add on to what you were saying. Like we're not saying that Sakazuki is easy to play. It's easy to know what Sakazuki wants to do. So you know exactly what they want to do. You just can't stop them most of the time. That's the problem with Sakazuki.
Sure.
Which is but so like a deck like Zoro, and the top 5, I think 5th place in Japan was a Red Zoro.
Really?
So
nice.
Yeah, Natsume. He's a pretty well-known player, and he was the Giga Chad who brought Zoro to the tournament, and he almost got there. You know, if a few things had gone differently, he could have won the whole thing, right? Who knows? But I think there's gonna be we think there's gonna be, obviously there's gonna be a bunch of Sakazuki. There's probably gonna be 1 to 2 Enels. I think there might be 1 to 2 Katakuris. I think somebody might just feel more comfortable with the deck, or just it's a strong enough deck that they can just like kind of be like, okay, if I get lucky enough today, I'm just gonna win Worlds, you know? Which is like that's tempting to bring. And Katakuri obviously is still really strong. It is, and he's not as strong. OP06 Katakuri, this would be a different story. That would be much stronger, I think.
Oh yeah.
But and then Zoro, right? Like those are kind of your main choices. You're not really probably going to bring anything else, unless like we're saying like the 5-head Giga Chad Uta move. But I really don't think that's gonna happen.
I just think Uta can get slammed by Sokka if they draw the right cards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sakazuki just wipes everything you put down. Your Nami won't get to stay on the field. I promise you that. So the second you try to drop Nami, it dies, and you don't get your draw engine.
Yeah, and even in Japanese Nats, like the only Uta won against Sokka, but it was only because Sokka was bricking, and yes, Kiyosagi was really good at reading the lethal move, but also, and especially in one of them, the Sokka player couldn't counter out of a certain attack, and it was a tell, and like the Uta player knew immediately, oh, he doesn't have the counter, so he just restands with I'm invincible, and he like every time Uta won, there was no characters on board because they all get wiped still, you know.
Yeah, and
that's also depending on some luck there.
Sure, yeah, 100%.
If you don't draw that event, you're gonna lose.
Exactly. Yeah. But I was gonna say the fact that the leader can be lethal on its own. If you've got, let's just say you have 2 of the events in your hand, you slap 4 Dawn, and you're getting 3 swings at 9. You know what I mean?
Yes.
1, 2,
which is good.
Then 3 Dawn for the restand, and another 3. That's crazy. Like and plus, let's be real. Sakazuki's main flaw is if it doesn't have blockers on the field. Like the counter in hand is never. It's rare for a Sakazuki player not to have to use their Surus and their like those cards
at least
for
one or two
their effects.
The 2Ks.
So them keeping those in the hand is generally not like happening. So it's tough for them to keep like, a large amount of counter in hand. So
there are openings, right?
Sure, and it's being aggressive is like
there are a lot of
openings. Nightmare, because they have to. Then let's be real. If you can go aggressive, you force the Rebecca block and the Borsalino blocks early, then they're just going to be left with like a Lucci, and maybe they'll get the combo wombo back out. But there are games when they don't see more than one or two Rebecca. It just happens. It just happens.
Or like, Lucci. Yeah.
So it's tough.
The Rebecca into Hina and no Lucci is like the best feeling in the world. You're like, oh, where's your Lucci, buddy?
Like I like the deck, but I feel like I have more fun with other decks. Like it's just there are so many so many luck factors involved in Sakazuki sometimes. It's definitely the most consistent. I can't argue that fact, but just when you don't see what you need or you don't have good counter in hand, you just get blown out by decks like any deck that is spawning bodies from life, like Katakuri or Enel. It's so tough to deal with.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's true.
It's still tough. True. Still tough to think about. I think you are spot on with the Katakuri analysis though, where someone might show up with that, and because Katakuri is great in
just
the
a
Sakazuki.
maybe.
Yeah, I think Katakuri and Sokka have a good matchup, and
it's a lot more fair than most of the other matchups that Sokka has.
So really,
like Yellow is the only answer. Yellow and Rush Zoro are kind of the only answers to Sakazuki and OPO5. So just knowing that, right? That's kind of what we can assume might be there. I just feel like it's gonna be like fucking 10 Sakazukis and like 2 other decks though. Like part of me really does feel that way. You know what I mean?
It's
like
Worlds. Everyone's afraid to. I would be afraid to try something new. To go like, all right, do I play the off meta deck to try to handle Sakazuki? It's like, no. Do I play Sakazuki that goes into Sakazuki? Because that's the pure 50-50 matchup right there. You know what I mean? You're giving yourself like almost the highest chance right there. Just go, if you draw well and better than your opponent, most likely you will win if you play and correctly.
Yeah.
So,
as long as your skill is about the same, it just comes down to who draws and cycles better.
Sure.
But then it's like, why are you leaving? That's kind of leaving it up to chance. A lot of Sokka mirrors are like, yes, of course there's skill involved, but we're talking about like these people won Nats in their respective countries. Like everyone's a good player who's going to Nats.
Oh yeah.
The Worlds. You know what I mean? So it's like, so that brings another element of like, because part of the reason the Uta player won the Japanese Nats as well is because they read the meta. They go, all right, I have a small shot of taking it with this Uta. If I don't play too many Sakazukis, I can probably make it. And he did end up playing quite a few Sakazukis, but he got kind of like a little bit lucky and really skilled on some of those matchups. But he read the meta well enough, and then he was like really calm during stream, and he didn't freak out, and he thought through his lines, and like that's what I was so impressed by for him. But there's this isn't a 2,000 person tournament where you're just like, I'm gonna bring the deck I'm best with, you know. And then I'm just gonna try my best, and like I know that this is like a one of the top tier meta decks, and that's all I need to worry about right now. This is like completely different, so I'm really interested. So like just to like clearly state it, I think a Sokka or a Zoro player is gonna take Worlds. I really do, just because
we're on the same wavelength.
Like you were saying,
we're there. I feel it. I feel you.
Just to like clearly state it, because we've been talking about it now for a minute, but like I think Zoro's gonna win if somebody brings Zoro. Like that's the thing. If nobody brings Zoro, obviously.
Who's gonna be the brave soldier to tread the Sakazuki and Enel planes to win it with Ramen? That's the real question.
I think the Japanese player might. He might. If he was practicing it so much that he brought it to Japanese Nats, and it's really not that much different. He unfortunately, it's a lot stronger, like we were talking about earlier before we started recording, but like the Kid and Killer in Zoro is so clutch from EBO1.
Yeah.
And it runs the new event too that like boosts your power. The new Gum like King Kong champion gun or whatever. Sorry, I forgot the specific name.
I think it's literally 2 costs give +3 to any character. And if your opponent has a 7k or more body, get another +1 to another character or leader. Wherever. That's a good card.
So super strong when you're going for lethal. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
And to play against 8-drop Kid as well, just in case if that's there.
Throw that on a Diablo.
So yeah, I mean, there's a
easy.
Ooh, baby.
Easy.
Yeah, that's 3 Dawn for like a huge buff right there, and not unblockable. So if one of the top players, which is everyone going to Nats, brings a Zoro, I want them to win. I think they would win, as long as. No, I just do because, like, as we were saying, like, even if people bring a Nell or a Katakuri, it's only gonna be probably like max 3 people.
Yeah.
And that's being generous, even right there. I think it's gonna be like 80% Sokka.
Yes.
10% yellow, or I guess like 15% yellow, and then whatever the remaining like 1 person is, like a 1 or 2 people maybe bring Zoro because they're Giga Chads.
I do agree with that. Unfortunately, it will be a lot of Sokka mirrors, and I don't think Sokka mirror is very entertaining. So it sucks.
Not after the 3rd one.
Yeah, set 6,
not after the 1st one, honestly.
Like, after watching a lot of set 6 videos, like, it feels way more versatile than set 5. I think set 6 has a lot more fun deck combinations that I don't know, that all feel competitive against each other. I'm not saying set 5 is not like a dead, like, I mean, you know what? We didn't even talk about Purple Luffy. Purple Luffy won Latin America.
Oh, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like, we can't. I think Purple Luffy will make. There will probably be 1 or 2 purple.
I legit forgot about Purple Luffy.
Dude, we're over here talking about yellow and blue and red, but we forgot about the purple goat. And you know what?
I can tell you,
not bad. It's not a bad deck. I was just gonna say, I think that Purple Luffy can high roll Sakazuki.
Chris Sock just took a regional with it recently as well, right?
Yep. Yes.
Right, I think after the LAM. Yeah. I will tell you though, I don't think anyone from Asia is gonna run Purple Luffy. No. I just don't. I think it hasn't been doing well in the recent meta, so no one's been playing it. I think you might have one of the Latin American players, or maybe like someone from Oceania, because I know it was more popular over there as well.
True.
So dude, thank you for bringing that up. I totally forgot. That would have been the other 10% that I was like not talking about.
Yeah, I was like, what other decks are played? But here's the real question. It's like, do we think Purple Luffy could take it? There's a chance.
That's the thing, is there's too many Sokkas. I feel like there's too many high level Sokkas at that point.
Dude, I'll be real. If it was a lot more Enel, then yes, Purple Luffy has a chance.
Yes.
Purple Luffy goes
very
well into Enel. So I think that if anything, some Enel player in Worlds could get very unlucky as their first matchup being against a Purple Luffy. That's like the worst case scenario for Enel. That was my first matchup.
Jonas be like, damn.
Yeah, imagine.
Oh, you're at Nats?
At Nats, my first matchup.
Yeah, but that's 1,000 plus.
It is. Yeah. It is.
I mean, that fucking sucks.
I won. Yeah. I got lucky. Came down to a last swing, and he hit a Sanji in the last life. And I'm sorry, he hit my Sanji. I put the blocker down.
Yeah, he hit your Sanji.
Couldn't swing for game with his little Kaido. So, yellow.
Woo. Feels better than a beige. Yeah, at least it wasn't a beige. You can feel a little bit better, because they still have a chance of resting it if they have the Dawn, right? But
yeah, I guess that's true. But
with like a top knot or whatever.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, beige is just over here like doing crazy things. But you know what? I think we're all on the same page here. Sakazuki will be the majority.
Recap for World.
Sakazuki will be the majority. Enel will be the second most played. I think Purple Luffy will have a couple representations, and I think if someone out there is ballsy enough to do it, they will play Red Zoro. And if they are lucky in their matchups and they draw decent, they can take Worlds. Zoro can take Worlds.
Yeah, they will need luck.
And I feel like a lot of people won't agree with that. But I'll tell you this right now: in every single card game, on every card game in existence, any deck can beat any deck, and I don't care what anyone says about it.
Yeah.
Any competitive player playing a good deck can beat another player.
Good enough.
Yeah, good enough. Yeah. I'm not gonna say a starter deck can't beat.
Your original statement is like, it's like technically possible, but a decent a decent deck that is like meta viable. Anyone can beat anyone.
Correct. Yeah. That's definitely not taking a red starter deck. Red starter Luffy's not winning Worlds. So promise you that.
That person would just like immediately become the fucking king of the world. I'd be like, get this person
Oda gives him a signed card immediately. Just signs it, sends it to
him. Oh my god, dude.
Great job.
Great job.
But
nice. Oh my god. Yeah. I can't believe we forgot about Purple Luffy. It's just not really in the discussion as much, so forgive us. Apologies on that.
I still play it for fun.
But again, there's so many. Yeah. I like Purple Luffy. It's a good deck. Just don't think it'll have a lot of representation at Worlds. But yeah, 1 or 2 players maybe. We got a bunch of Sokkas, maybe 1 or 2 Luffys, and 1 to 3 maybe yellow players, just possible. Maybe 1 or 2 Enels, or 1 Enel, 1 Katakuri, something like that. And then we gotta believe that there's just gonna be the black sheep that's gonna bring something like Zoro, or like I don't think Red Green Law is even in the discussion, but yeah, Red Zoro might be
not
there.
right now. I think Red Green Law, with the inclusion of the EBO1 4-cost Kid and Killer, that really steps the deck up. So besides
you mean Red Purple Law? Or no, Red
Green Law. I think that deck gets upgraded with that card too. That's a supernova that can swing and be restood. You can get, I think the combo, you can get like 3 swings with him, and he gets like the extra 2k each swing. Like, but if you have the 5-drop log restand, can be pretty gross.
He gets each swing he gets plus 2k. It's crazy.
So, but that is another thing too. So I do think that is exactly what it's going to look like. I think we'll see not too much variety from what we've currently seen in the top game. But OPO5 is kind of a cracked code per se. I don't think that there's much for us to dig out of the trenches here. So, but either way, I'm excited.
I think that's fair. I think that's a really fair. Yeah. Me too. I'm so excited. I think I might only be going on Saturday, and I might be at home on Sunday, which I believe is when the finals is going to be going on. I'm not sure. So I might be able to actually watch it live on stream. So that'd be cool.
That'd be great.
I might do like a little video and like talk about what they're saying in Japanese live, like live stream it or something.
You should. That'd be the best way to do it. It's hard.
Yeah, you and Brock. Me, you, and Brock could like do a little stream or something.
100%.
So if I'm home, I'd love to do that. So keep an eye out for that, guys. But I think we've kind of talked about this enough. That's awesome, because we didn't talk about who we actually thought would win before we started to shooting this video. So that's awesome. So we both kind of think Red Zoro's, if someone brings Red Zoro, we think it's going to take it. Mostly Sokka's, maybe a little Pluffy, and then some yellow representation. Yep. I think that's a pretty tame take, besides who we think will actually win it. I know most people are probably just going to say Sokka, and if Sokka wins, obviously I'm not going to be surprised.
No,
right?
I think Sokka's got the highest percentage. The highest percentage chance, because it will be the most played deck. So not only is it the top deck in set 5, when the more people play it, you're gonna have a higher percentage of it winning, a chance of it winning anyway. But I like to see the rogue. I like to see the rogue deck kind of come out of the woodwork. And how can you guys imagine how funny it would be to end the first official year of the One Piece competitive season with a red deck? You know,
OP1 and red. Oh yeah,
the scourge of sets 1 through 3, dude. The scourge of One Piece sets 1 through 3 was red. And how funny it would just be funny. It'd be like some kind of it
would be
really fun irony.
It's a sick twisted joke.
I love it. And then I'm gonna segue this into maybe this how Worlds performs will segue into what cards are gonna get banned.
Yep.
Because
exactly.
if
I was about to mention that as well. Thank you for the segue.
100%. I'm segging in there, bro. I'm getting in. But I think if Sakazuki ends up dominating, that's when we're gonna see some nerfs to deck.
So 100%. That's a good point, and I've actually kind of thought about this as well. So let's talk about the ban list, right? We're now entering the spicy zone, okay? put on your headphones, grab a drink, get some snacks, guys. This is going to be spicy. And that's a great point. They announced after Japanese Nats like some crazy cliffhanger where I was confused because I was reading the Japanese and they're like, like at the Worlds, there's going to be a new ban restriction list announced. But I also thought it meant that they were about to announce a restriction list for the Worlds. They weren't super clear about what they meant. And then it was just like, all right, see you later. And everyone was like, wait, what? Like immediately after on Twitter and everything, people were like, what the fuck? This is crazy. So like they dropped a bomb cliffhanger and we're just like, catch you later. I don't know. We still don't have 100% confirmation if it's getting announced at Worlds or if it's like directly after or at the end of Worlds. But if it is after, I mean, I don't think the actual Worlds tournament is going to influence it though, to be honest though.
Really?
So I think it'll be announced. No, because I think
they already.
I mean,
know.
it could.
They already know what is the best decks out there.
Like,
but let's be real
and
though.
Just like logistically, they need the time to do all this stuff. So I think like even it will be good information for them. Obviously, I just think as a company and like logistically, they kind of need to have these things figured out beforehand.
Like, oh, Sakazuki didn't win. All right, we're not going to take anything from that deck. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Exactly. Yeah. And then like stop the printers. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
they definitely
stop
took
the press.
Yeah, exactly. I think they definitely took the data from all the big events that just happened, from the competitive season, from the start of OPO5 for America. They're watching EBO1 in Japan right now, and they're seeing like what's doing well.
Yep.
The fact that Sakazuki is still performing as a top tier deck, Katakuri is still performing as a top tier deck. Yellow in general has a lot. I do think Sakazuki is probably still the problem child. Sakazuki is a problem child.
Yeah.
And when it takes up 45 to 50% of the entire event deck, like the event's decks, that's when you know that the deck's too strong. Like
Yep.
I talk about this, but I know it's probably unpopular opinion. But when Bandai decided to ban those red cards, when we had the 1 month, remember we had like in America we had a 1 month ban period.
It was like 3 weeks. Yeah, the 4.75 meta or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
4.5 meta. Every big event had like 8 different decks in top 16, and it was in my opinion, it was the healthiest meta. It was by far the healthiest meta we'd ever seen. Doflamingo was winning. Purple green Dofi was probably the best deck in format at that point. But all the other decks were still performing though. Like you still had decks that could do well into this one. So it was
weird decks topping.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
which was cool. I enjoyed watching that. That was really fun to see.
It was unique in that Japan didn't do that. Japan has been very I'm not gonna say stingy. That was the word that came into my mind. I was gonna say very straightforward with how they're they're being stingy with the amount of bans they aren't giving y'all. You know what I mean? Like they're letting y'all's meta just flow, and they're just letting bad shit happen.
Rebecca did really well in OPO4, so they didn't need the bans. You know what I mean?
That's true.
It was just a different meta. Yeah, it was just different. But I totally agree. That was awesome. I do think it would have flatlined a little bit if it had been longer, and then Green Purple Dofi would have just kind of been the new bad guy, or Katakuri might have gone back up. But that's just they can't say for sure. But the time that you guys had in that little pocket, that was awesome. And like you're saying, like every week it was like, whoa, this leader topped or this leader won the tournament. Like that's crazy. Really cool to see. But let's go through like the list, right? Because so that's they're going to be looking at all that data. They're going to be looking at obviously all the OPO6 data, and this is for like OPO6 onwards. So OPO6 is not released in America yet, but like you, and we were talking about this before, like you and a lot of the American players are like, you keep up, you know what's going on in Asia. You haven't physically played OPO6 yet, but you've been keeping track of things. You're on top of things. I know not everyone is. There are more casual players who haven't had the time to look at all the OPO6 cards. So that's totally fine. I completely understand that. But a lot of people already have a good idea of what OPO6 is going to be like.
At least any competitive player is keeping up with it. Because they need to know what's happening for them. Essentially, it's like, what's the point of not staying ahead of the curve and being ready to jump into it? Because if we had simultaneous releases, it would be so much more fun.
I wish.
To discover
one
everyone.
Day,
I know. One day. Everyone simultaneously exploring a set together, seeing what works, what doesn't. That's the dream. America, we just get filter fed. We just take the data. And we apply it to
but like you said, you tweak it, and you fine tune it, right?
Dude, America, we're a bunch of fucking savages. Like we take the decks.
And that has a lot of different meanings.
Of course. When I say that,
in the best, no, I'm just kidding. No, like in the best way possible, right?
Competitively hungry, and I'm not. Every other country is as well, but America especially.
Say what you chest. We're fucking savages.
We're savage. Yeah. We love it. But we take the best decks.
Well, they're very methodical as well.
We fine tune it for the first month. Essentially, it mirrors Japan's meta the first month. After that, I think that the US essentially learns what beats the best deck, and that deck starts seeing more play
if it can.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
I think that's why NL got more popular in North America.
100%.
I agree for the most part.
100%. So I think it's cool because
it's also just things are a little bit different, you know, in different places, and that factors into it too, right? Like people have tendencies and deck they like to play.
That is very true. Very true.
But yeah, one day we'll get the freaking same simultaneous release, right? But I think that was just a caveat. Yeah, hopefully, because I know if the Digimon one goes well, right, then maybe One Piece will be next.
Yeah, I mean, for anyone who doesn't know, Digimon, the card game that really spurred a huge wave of new card games coming out and probably helped drive One Piece into our arms.
Yep.
They announced by the end of 2024 they will have simultaneous release worldwide, and they're gonna do that by
nice.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's huge. As someone, I came from Digimon. I loved Digimon at the start of COVID. Playing a new card game was so great. It was so cool.
Yeah.
But seeing the fact
couldn't get into it. But I know you were there.
It's a fun game. It was fun. It like genuinely had like a lot of going for it. But the good thing is for what they're announcing with a simultaneous release is that, and they're also doing this for Fusion World, by the way, the new Dragon Ball card game reboot. It is getting
I'm gonna be playing that over here
simultaneously. Too. That means that that's their goal. Their goal is to have all their card games probably running at a simultaneous release schedule. That's the dream. Baby. That means that they don't have to balance two metas. And it's probably easier for them too, because now they only have to deal with one set being printed at a time. And that's even if it's different language, it's still different print. But still, I think that's the goal.
The logistics might become even more simpler at that point, right?
Exactly. Since you're not dealing with two different
maybe not.
lines.
Maybe it's even harder.
I don't know. I don't know how the back end of how it works, but in my mind, I think that would just be simpler for them to deal with because it just makes it better for us. I hate. It's a love-hate relationship, right? I feel like we're getting spoiled early before a set releases.
Yeah,
like,
and getting the inside scoop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, we have set 6 coming out in America. I'm so excited. Japan's getting set 7. Yeah, so all these hype cards and these new hype decks. It's hard for us to stay...
that's the worst part.
Yeah, it's hard for us to stay excited for set 6 when we keep seeing these cool updated decks.
I know,
and I'm
bro.
like, so that's why I think in a year's time, I'm gonna call it right now. By next year's World, they're gonna announce a simultaneous release.
Oh,
I think they will.
That would be good. I like that.
Bet by
I like
20,
that.
and they'll announce like by 2025.
The 2024 World Championship, the big announcement will be like probably another ban list and then also simultaneous release.
And I honestly am so excited. But okay, sorry, we get off topic.
All right, let's jump into it.
About the ban list.
Sorry.
Yes.
The point.
This guy.
Oh, nice. Okay, hold on, wait. The point I was trying to make too, just real quick, we were just mentioning that too because it's like, yes, we don't have OP06 in America yet, but people still know the cards, and it's a little unfortunate that the ban list is coming before OP06 actually hits America.
Sure.
But let's jump into it and let's see. We have a list of kind of cards. We'll just go over them. What you got one right there?
All right. So
what is it?
I pulled one card out
because see.
I was like, I wanted to. Okay, I wanted us kind of like to.
I haven't seen this yet either.
Okay, so this is very. Yeah, I was like, all right, I have it right here. Let me just pull it out. I wanted us both to kind of at the same time say what card that we for sure think is getting limited or hit on this list. Like, what's
the
like
first one?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the card that you think 100% is getting hit? Like, you know what I mean?
Think or want? Because those are two different answers.
You know what? That's a good question. I'm gonna say think. I'm gonna say logistically.
Okay. I have two different answers. So I'll think is okay. I got it.
All right.
And it's not. What if we were like Velociraptor?
Yeah, right.
Sorry, so like Step Brothers. I don't know. I just thought of that scene. Okay. Did we just become best friends? All right. And that's the card you got is right there.
This is what I think is gonna get hit for sure.
This is what you think is the number one. All right. What on 3, 2, 1, go?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, say it. Right.
Yeah, okay. Let's do it. Hold on. Right.
Well, you just showed me.
Well, no, you didn't see it.
I think I saw it. I think I'll edit it out.
Okay,
we'll edit it
whatever.
out.
All right.
Ready?
3,
all right.
2,
3,
1. Big Mom.
No, go. Houndblaze. I think it's Houndblaze. Big Mom. Okay. Yeah, I thought that was Big Mom.
This card has been complained.
That's spicy, bro.
Every single set, people complain about this card, and I'll tell you why.
I fucking hate that card.
This card is amazing. I know not every Sakazuki player is playing 4 of it right now, but I just want to talk about the card itself.
You mean Katakuri?
Yeah, Katakuri. My bad.
Yeah.
It's 10
Please
drop.
God, don't let Sakazuki play that card.
I know, right? I heard Houndblaze and I was thinking Saga.
Yeah. No, I know.
10 drop card, 12k body. Already the highest stat line that we see in the game right now. It is essentially a 2-life swing, meaning you gain a life, you take an opponent's life. for 10 drop for getting that effect. And I know that it's limited to any Big Mom Pirate deck, so that's great that it's limited in that regard. This card has been a problem. This has been a problem child since its release.
For a long time.
Yeah, for a long time. So this is the card that I think that they're going to limit it to 1. I don't think it's getting banned. This is a card that at 1 in a deck is completely fair. So that's kind of my theory. I think people will agree with that. I think people have been begging for Big Mom to get hit. It's just a great card.
They have.
Can you? Okay, I don't think that anyone.
Japan as well.
Anyone in this game has not had an experience where they're playing against Katakuri. Well, I was gonna say they're playing against Katakuri and they get 3 back-to-back 10 drops. Do you win that game?
Yep, I've been there.
Do you win that game?
No.
I have maybe won 25% of the games that I get doubled. Like I double drop Big Mom.
Double,
is
you have a
viable.
shot.
Yes.
Double drop, you have a small shot. 3, no,
3,
I don't think I've ever won.
It's almost impossible to deal with the pressure that comes unless they don't have blockers, cards in hand, or their life is shit.
Yeah.
Because, dude,
But then they're throwing at that point, so they wouldn't play the third one. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
I think this
Big Mom is the one that's outlasted. Yeah, it's outlasted Whitebeard. You know what I mean? As far as like the bans and the complaints and people wanting it to be banned and stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So that's
my
big
Big Mom movement.
That's my big choice. But I do think that there's other things getting hit. And so let's go to you. You talked about Houndblaze.
All right. I said Houndblaze, and I know it's just for Sakazuki, but Sakazuki is in OP06 probably still the best deck in format. It does fluctuate. It fluctuates a little bit. I was actually talking to somebody about this recently. They commented on one of my videos. And I did some research to try and back up what I was trying to say. So like, you know, the flagship events in Japan, which are not as big as regionals, but it's like 64 plus people, and it might, like, the competitive level of people that go there, it's really close to like what an online treasure cup would be, but it just, there's like a ton of them happening essentially every weekend. It's not as big as a regional, so it's not a CS, so I can't give it the same weight, but Sakazuki won 100 more of those, more than the second place, which was Moria, was really good at the start of OP06 and has been essentially almost completely phased out just because Perona and Saka and some other decks beat it a lot. The next closest one was Katakuri, and Saka had 200 more championships than Katakuri. And then like third place was maybe Enel with like 79 or 80, and then Yamato had like 60 or 70. And sorry, this is for the OP06 season.
Sure. Yeah.
Up through the first weekend of February. And guess what? Even after EBO1, Sakazuki's still at the top. Sakazuki's still winning because Brook from EBO1 just made Sakazuki like, there's like an aggro version of Sakazuki now, like as aggro as he can get. Like, dude, that Brook, I didn't think that card was going to be that good. It's one of the best techs that Sakazuki has gotten.
Yeah, they're throwing. I see they're throwing like 2 to 3 of those in the deck, and boom.
Yeah, easy 2 to 3. It has a counter. It's a 1K counter. Like, what the heck, man?
It's just.
You can get it from Rebecca. It's a 3 cost. It's you can play it with Rebecca and get it. It's so crazy, dude. Yes. So just before I get into the weeds on that, Houndblaze though, because as good as Sakazuki is, if you can set up ways that he can't KO your characters, you play a Sabo, or you just have bodies that are too big. Houndblaze is a 2-for-1 because it's pumping the small characters. Normally it's a brand new or a 1-cost Tashigi Searcher that comes out in OP06.
Yep.
And it's bottom decking your card. So even if your card cannot be KO'd, it just bottom decks it. It hurts too because it kills Kikunojo. You don't get the effect off of it. Anything that you need a when KO'd effect. Yeah, Odin, 8-drop Odin, Kikunojo. There's tons of other examples. Like, it's so specific, and you had a really good point earlier. We were talking about this before, where you were saying like it's essentially leader locked because it's not good in any other deck, which is its only like saving grace as a potential like not getting banned. I think Houndblaze is gonna go down to 2. I think that would be safe to say. I don't think they'll really ban it because it might just make Sakazuki bad. Like, just compare, not bad, but worse, right? I don't know. It's so hard to tell. But that's my number one card that I think is going to be affected first.
Yeah, I actually think we're both right. I think both of those cards are probably two things that will be.
Yes.
But the thing when
two
you
of the top ones for sure.
Absolutely. But you did mention that you think it going to 2. So historically, Bandai's never limited a card to 2.
I know.
They've only done 1, and not even just in One Piece. Dragon Ball. It's either ban or limit to 1. It's a Digimon, Dragon Ball, or One Piece has only been limited to 1. So it's possible. It would be interesting to see.
Rephrase. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna say, let me rephrase then and say, like, I think it'll get banned. I really do. But if they don't, then they'll put it at 1.
Banned.
I think it might, dude. Just for a set or so. See, so they let the power creep come back in.
I just don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I think it might.
I think that you could get a lot of the same value. Like I'm gonna move on to my next card. I think you can get a lot of the same value of hurting Sakazuki without killing the deck with Rebecca, limiting Rebecca to 1. Rebecca.
Well, I also think that's gonna happen.
Well, Rebecca.
I think it's gonna be both. Honestly,
if I'm being honest,
Rebecca and Houndblaze are the 2 big cards.
Fuck them both.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Get him out.
You and me both, man.
Yeah.
But, no, like if you asked me, Houndblaze is number 1. Rebecca is number 2, and then Beige. Those are my top 3 cards that I think are going to either be banned or restricted to 1.
I just don't think Beige. I know how good Beige is. I know that it sucks. Here's the thing: it's not a card that you ever play. It's a 2K counter in hand half the time. And yes, when you hit it, it's great. OP6 does enable you to put it at the top of your life with the
Hiyori.
Toki. Hiyori. Yeah, it is Hiyori. Yes.
Hiyori. Yeah.
So yes, Hiyori does enable you to put some really crazy stuff to the top of life, which is awesome.
Yeah, but at the top of life, it doesn't do too much. It's harder to make it.
But your opponent doesn't know what you stack there. Like, if let's say you're at 1 or 2 life and you throw that there, like it comes in handy. It does.
It can still be devastating, of course. Yes.
So, what I really think is like I just don't know if it needs to get hit. I really don't. Like I just think
I understand that reasoning. I just think it's the same reason they banned Kabaji. I just think that it's such a low. It's such a high value, low effort card that like it's like 10 cost mom. The main reason people hate it is because there's no like skill involved, right? From dropping 10 moms in a row, right?
Yep.
And I don't think Katakuri. I hated Katakuri a lot more than I do now. I like Katakuri as a leader. It's not that bad to me anymore, just personally. Once you learn to live with triggers and yellow, like you can kind of get over it a little bit. But Beige is the one card where it's just like, man, damn. Like I played around every single out, but just because you had that this was the only option that could have lost me the game, and you got it. And it's like, damn, that sucks. It sucks worse than any other trigger in the whole game if it's the last life and it prevents you from winning. It's such a high value, low effort card is like how I like to think about it. And because Bandai has banned Kabaji, because it's a similar situation where like it wasn't the most overpowered deck in the world, but people were getting such dissatisfaction from playing so many Nami players that they decided to ban the Moji Kabaji combo by banning Kabaji, right?
Yep.
That's why I think it's possible.
No, you're right,
sure, maybe limit it to 1, but then at that point you might as well just ban it. Because guess what? If you only have 1 beige in your deck, everyone's gonna run it because it's a 2K counter in their yellow decks. And then when that 1 fucking beige is the card that's your last life somehow, like I know the percentage is like so much lower, but it's gonna hurt even more, bro. People are gonna cry. People will cry when the one of beige stops you from winning the game. Well, so you might as well just ban it.
So here's another thing: is that with Bandai, when they release cards and alternate arts and SPs of cards that are technically on the chopping block, you know, like where people are like they should get banned. They just came out with for the nationals here in US and probably elsewhere. They had there's a beige finalist card.
Forgot about that. Forgot about that.
But that's the thing is Bandai knows that if they ban something that like if someone imagine you go to the finals and the only pack you get is that beige, that card's worth nothing now. Essentially, well, it's obviously still worth something, but
for now, yeah.
So I think
that's a good point. I completely forgot about that.
Probably why they don't ban things outright is that 1, you want to be able to let people use 1 of, So at least they can get their value out of the
except
card.
Nami.
Dude, I mean,
that was such a wild. Yeah, we don't talk about the Nami ban. that was a weird. That was a weird one.
I mean, apparently Nami would have been the most broken deck in existence if they would have kept these 2 cards.
No,
because they act like it.
Not. Sorry. I meant the Searcher Nami when it got banned for a second. No. Red. The red. Yeah. I understand the Kabaji ban. I actually do. I really do understand it. At the time, I understand why they did that.
It's
also, but the one thing for beige that I will say is because the new Zoro from Egghead, the OP07 Zoro, that's the trigger is if your leader is Egghead type, you can rest up to one of your opponent's characters or leaders.
Yes, they're leader locking
and like
effect.
Yeah, and they're creating new cards for it, which we can talk about Dadan too, because you have some thoughts on Dadan as well.
I don't know.
Because they just released that new one.
In my mind, I think they're preparing for Red to be good again. I think that they're
trying.
Like card games go through cycles.
More so Green, really.
Card games go through cycles where they'll Red dominated for 3 sets. They knew they had to do something, so they toned it down. The last couple sets, Red has been kind of like on the down.
They didn't get shit.
Yeah,
they didn't get shit.
So
dude.
Green.
Try as a good blocker, and that's about it.
Set 6, Green makes a reoccurrence. And it looks like Green's only going up right now too with some of the new cards. Like Green is going to be wild.
Green gonna be crazy, dude.
So I think that they're gonna give Green a spot. They're gonna have Green in the spotlight for a little bit, and I think that they're gonna prepare. This ban list might be future proofing through set 8 through set 9. So that's why we might see some things hit that are unexpected. Like if Dadan gets hit, that's gonna be because they know that Zoro is gonna be played more with all these new cards coming out. You know what I mean? Like
Red Green Law
or Red, exactly. Red Green Law might.
I think it's mostly Red Green Law right now.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. But Zoro's been kind of making.
Zoro will get better through other cards. No, Zoro's already been on the up and up. Is what I'm trying to say. Red Green Law, like the Dadan is better for Red Green Law probably. I guess it works for Zoro too. Yeah, but I get what you're saying. I like that. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
So, when I see essentially them printing a new card. Like the new Zoro, the new Dadan, like for these other cards that are like essentially taking the place of these other cards.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I assume too. Is like, oh well, maybe that's the card that's gonna get hit. You know?
True, and it makes sense.
Might be a good thing. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, Dadan is still. I mean, I'll be real. I think them banning Dadan, or I guess they banned it for that month. I was like, damn, what a great month that was.
Yeah.
But everyone was so sick of Red dominating, and damn, all of a sudden just things. It was like a new day. Everyone woke up. It was like, wow, the ban list is great.
Yeah.
And then they announced, no, it's coming back in a month, guys. Don't worry. The set 5.
But it was okay.
Yeah, no, you're right. Set 5. Set 5.
Nobody runs
destroyed Red
anymore.
Oh, it put it back down to where it should be.
It's still good. Yeah.
Like
Sabo, Red Green Law will always be pretty strong.
Yeah, Sabo being the new red deck was kind of, I don't think Sabo's bad. I just don't think Sabo is like.
Oh, Red Black Sabo?
Yeah, that was like the new red deck.
It's not very good.
It's just very mid. It's very like it's just not up there with.
It's very mid. Yeah, unfortunately, because it's a cool leader with a cool effect.
I've got a homie here in my locals that plays Sabo every week. I beat him 90% of the time, but that 10% when he beats me, bro. Dude,
shout out to that guy.
Dude, shout out, dude. I'm telling you, bro. We have like every time we play, he's always just like, oh, all right, here we go. But like, then there's sometimes when he gets
here we go again.
Yeah, here we go. No, literally, but then he gets the what's the 4-cost Karasu, and you make your leader, you give your leader a -1k, and all of a sudden, he's swinging at me with 4 bodies that turn, and I lose the next turn because I can't sustain losing that much counter from hand.
Yeah.
So there's times when those decks can perform. But
Sure.
Either way.
Red. I think green is the next. Green is the next getting buffed baby, and then the red is the next kind of like child of Bandai, because Bandai, right? They have little pet colors, kind of, right? Like red was the baby for a while. Then it was like kind of black and yellow, or like the 2 twins right now that have just been like destroying everything for a couple sets.
Dude,
I think green is gonna really mess some shit up.
Black was bad.
It was. It was
from its first set to then 3 sets later. It took a while for it to really gain traction.
Yeah.
So at least to be like
the new Rob Lucci. The new Rob Lucci actually might be pretty good. I was kind of talking shit about it just because the leader effect isn't that strong, but the combo and the support that it's getting actually might be pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie.
A CP0, CP9 deck will be I think it will be viable for sure. But
I think it's actually going to be pretty good.
Bonnie, the best green leader we've ever seen, in my opinion. She's insane.
Yeah.
That's the like by far the greatest effect on a green leader. Well, I don't know, man. Green kid.
Arguably with
double swing,
I was gonna say
swing
kid,
on wheels.
Yeah.
That's tough.
But first or second, but Bonnie has way better support, like essentially, right? Just like inherently through the supernova stuff. I feel like it's more
very true.
OPO7 is tailored around helping Bonnie, is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I agree.
So, all right, we got a few more to go through. We've talked about beige. We said Rebecca is probably at 2. I can't really see getting Rebecca, or 1 maybe then. Like, I can't see Rebecca getting banned, but I could see it getting cut to 1.
It's not a card that deserves to get banned. It's a card that deserves to be limited.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Blaze could get
if
banned,
there was any card on this list,
like, fuck it, I don't care. Goodbye, later.
Yeah.
That card's
I would feel bad if Rebecca got banned. Just because it is amazing, but it's not I don't know. It's overtuned.
You can't have an 8-cost Gecko Moria that gets...
Right, that's what we should talk about next.
Yeah, that 8-cost Gecko Moria spawns 2 bodies. If one of those bodies happens to be Rebecca, you spawn a 3rd body.
Yep.
That's too good. Yep. You just can't.
Or at the very least, you get an extra card to hand. Trash.
Oh yeah, you're gaining a +2 or something along those lines. Or you're enabling.
You can choose is crazy.
Or you're enabling, like, if you play the 3-cost, like you use the Gecko Moria, you get the Rebecca from Rebecca's effect. You play the 3-cost Hina. You're getting a -4 somewhere in the field. Then you've still got 2 Dawn if you have to 10 Dawn turn. You can do lots of things with that Dawn. Like you could.
You sure can.
Yeah, it's scary.
And you could play your second card could be brand new, rested from Moria effect, and you just draw a card from that as well.
Oh, Drew and
you can double draw if you play if you play Kuzan and brand new, you get essentially 2-card draw if you don't whiff. Or if you play Rebecca into brand new, you can choose which one you activate first, right? So you can say, okay, I'm gonna search with brand new. Say you get that Hound Blaze that you need, and then you're like, okay, well then I'm gonna use Rebecca, play down Hina, and boom! Like I literally just mapped out my entire turn from 8 Dawn, and now I have like 3 to 4 extra bodies on board, just depending on how you play it. It's crazy. But here's the thing: is I don't think 8-cost Moria is going to get banned or restricted, actually.
It
can't.
Can't.
Yeah.
Set 6 coming out in America.
I don't think it can either.
Japan can't do that. You know what? They could surprise us.
That would be,
we're going to limit it.
They could. They can. But I would be really surprised. And it'd be kind of fucked up. I'm not going to lie.
I think that card's... listen, I think Gecko Moria is really good. I think the card's like... I don't think it's as busted as people say. Like, I know how good it is. I get it. I also don't think it's the most busted card. There's a lot of time if you're keeping tempo with your opponent, if they drop the 8-drop Gecko Moria, you could still swing out for game if you've got the right setup. You know what I mean? Like, they're only going to get...
you just need a rest of 1 blocker or something.
Exactly. It's a big cost to get that on the field. You are spreading wide, but if that turn you're not responding back to your opponent's field and they have all the momentum, you're essentially just putting bodies down and your opponent's just going to keep swinging and putting pressure on you. So, like, there are things that don't make it the most broken card in the game. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, I feel like
I know exactly what you're saying.
10-drop Big Mom puts more pressure than Gecko Moria, in my opinion. Killing a life and healing one is more pressure. And even Rebecca,
Yeah. Rebecca, because it's only 4 Dawn. You can be more efficient, and you can play it sooner. You can play multiple Rebeccas on 1 turn. With 8 Dawn, you can play 2 Rebeccas. You don't need a Gecko Moria, right? The combo of Moria into Rebecca is partly what's broken about it, right?
That's what makes
so if you limit Rebecca to 1, and here's the thing: is the Moria leader without 8-cost Moria is almost just not viable. It would immediately just go to a fun deck that you bring to locals, which is kind of insane.
It'd be like a high B tier, I think, if they limit it to 1.
Sure, and we'd have to see, but like that would be like chopping like somebody's leg off and being like, all right, go run this marathon or something. Like, it's gonna be hard for him to compete,
true.
right?
That's so true.
Like, the 8-cost Moria is so essential in the Moria leader that, like, I could never see Bandai, and it's a fan favorite. People love Moria. Like, it was really, really popular in Japan, partly because it's strong, but also just because people love Moria, the character.
I like Moria. I like Thriller Bark a lot.
I love Moria too.
I'm building Perona because I like Thriller Bark, and I think Perona's effect is just generally good.
Perona's awesome.
Perona's a fun deck.
Perona's awesome.
I'm board controlling.
I like those are
resting things for free is so strong. Love it.
Outside of Yamato, those are my 2 favorite decks from OPO6. And yeah, like the Thriller Bark is just cool, man. Who doesn't love Thriller Bark? Well, I guess there are a lot of people. I guess it's kind of, yeah. I think it's underrated. I know you think it's underrated.
I mean, I literally can't imagine following the show and understanding the themes and being like, wow, Thriller Bark sucks. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What?
That's just an L take.
I will literally go on.
I'll be honest. That's an L take.
Yeah. When people are like, "Oh, dude, I skipped Skypiea and I skipped Thriller Bark, bro." You know, I really wanted to get.
Yeah, it's like
really wanted to get to the Wano, bro. The action. It's like.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you skipped 2 of the best arcs in the whole show. Okay, cool, man.
Well, that it's just the story.
But we don't need to go on a tangent for that though. But yeah, no, Moria. Okay, just because of the implications. If it was a different situation, sure, maybe Moria would get restricted to 1. I just really don't think they would ever. You cannot release a leader that's going to be dead on arrival. It's just crazy. That would be just too crazy to do. So because of that, I think just restricting Rebecca to 1 would solve most of all those problems. You know?
Sure. It does. It hits the deck without hitting it completely.
Yeah.
But that hits 2 decks,
like you said, it
hits 2 powerhouse decks. It hits Sokka and Gecko, and that right there, if one card can change the deck like that much. Oh, Perona.
Moria. People run Moria and Perona. You were talking about Rebecca, right? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. No, I thought you were talking about Moria. You're right. Yes, Gecko and Sokka. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Those 2 decks.
People don't run Rebecca and Perona. I thought you were talking about Moria. My bad.
No, you're totally fine. Essentially, I think
it's a good point.
I think if you can hit 1 card that affects 2 problem decks at one time, like why not just kill 2 birds one stone, right? Like that seems. And Bandai, and I'll be real, I'd be shocked if Bandai didn't do that. But Bandai has done some shocking things in the past. I wouldn't be like I wouldn't be opposed to them just saying fuck it. We're just gonna hit a bunch of different cards and just we're gonna equalize the playing field and just say fuck it. We're gonna make it as equal as we can. So I don't know what else they would hit. I really don't. Like I don't.
Yeah.
People said Ice Age.
There's a few that we have left. No, why? And I've heard Great Eruption too. Ice Age is an overtuned card, but it's not overpowered enough where you would. Because dude, if you banned Ice Age, that's just like I don't know, man.
Why
you can't we don't want to make black
dead on
and we don't want to make black a like unusable color, you know what I mean?
That's true.
Like you still need some of those staples that are like slightly overtuned because every color has those staples, you know. Black just has the most right now.
True.
That's why restricting Rebecca would solve most of the problems. Plus Rebecca might be pretty broken in the new Rob Lucci leader too, just like recycling the Spandine and like Spandum and stuff like that. So it's like kind of future-proofing that to make sure that doesn't happen even over here in Asia. So I think that's just overall the smartest decision they can make.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
So do you have
a few more to get through?
Okay, I was gonna say.
Just to bring up, well, reject. People I've heard because I like especially last night I was at locals in Japan and I was asking a bunch of people. Like me, most people think it's going to be Houndblaze. Just in the small 20 or 30 people I've kind of talked to in like a couple circles. But a lot of people were suggesting Reject and Amaru getting restricted. I can't really see Reject. It is a very overpowered card at times because you can just jettison their last life into their hand. And they do get to... Your opponent gets to trigger their trigger if there's a trigger. You do not. You take your last life to hand. They take their last life as like a normal hit to your like a normal damage hit would be. So if there's a trigger, yeah. That's how it works. You don't. So that'd be so broken if you could trigger your own taking your life. So you take your last life to hand.
So the 4 cost
and your opponent
triggers the card.
It deals a damage. So if your opponent reject is. It has 2 things. This is why it's a really good card. It's a Sky Island 4 cost event. Yeah. You have 2 options. You can either KO one of your opponent's 5 cost or less characters, which would just be a really good event anyways. And then the second option is if your opponent is at 1 life, you can force them to take a damage, and then you draw one of your own lives. Okay. So your opponent takes their last life, and they can activate a trigger if they need, if there is one. And you just take your last life, or you take your life to hand. It doesn't have to be your last life.
Yep, it just says deal 1
damage.
Yeah,
so
okay, I see.
It's damage, so you have to take the trigger, right? No, and people weren't sure about this, but they brought it up on a CS one time, and it was clarified like on live on stream. But
that's
so it's really good. And you can run this in Katakuri, you can run this in a Nell. I run it in my Sky Island Yamato build. It literally won me a game yesterday against Fortress Yamato where it was like right down to the wire, and because I had that, I won. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's going to be...
I was going to mention too, like the fact that it's a versatile card. It's not just KOing a life. It
is very versatile.
It's the fact that the trigger is a draw, which is nice. I mean, it's not the best, but draw one card, it's value.
Yeah, the trigger's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
But the fact that
I forgot to mention that.
Yellow is very much not the removal type deck.
Not a lot of KO. Yeah, not a lot of removal or KO. So this is a huge card.
Replace Thunderbolt essentially, and you don't.
Bro, you can KO Sabos on the second turn with this. It's so good.
That is really
when you because 5-drop blockers are the hardest to get around, especially in Yamato.
Yeah.
Because most of the time you can only rest a 4 or less unless you're running Straw Sword. Most people
maxing
don't.
Amaru.
Yeah, and with Hody Jones is the only other way. Yeah.
That's tough. That's
exactly.
A good card.
And I had Reject and Amaru yesterday. I rejected their last life, and then like I was telling you before, I swung like 12, 13 at leader, and I won. But I think partly because it's so versatile, I don't think it'll actually get hit. I think the card we should probably talk more about is Amaru, because like Houndblaze, getting the buff on something and resting a character is really dirty. And that is one of the reasons it's so overpowered in Sakazuki with Houndblaze, is because now Brand New and Tashigi become these 5k, 6k attackers just with 2 Dawn, and they get the removal on top of all that, right?
True.
I think I have no I don't want them to ban Amaru or anything. I'm just saying it's in the runnings as a potential candidate.
I do agree. I'm sitting here thinking about the scenarios that that card.
I know. I'm trying to think too.
And I mean, I'll be real.
It helps you go for lethal for sure.
Yeah, most of my yellow decks are running 4, and it's like a lot. You start noticing a lot of the cards that you run 4 of. Those.
It's my favorite yellow event.
It's so good. It's great. It's it wins games a lot of the time, and not only that, if worst case scenario, you just get it's like getting an extra Dawn. You're playing with 11 Dawn with that.
Especially in Yamato. It's free in Yamato if you're going to attach Dawn on a character anyways.
100%.
It's literally free.
That's good. So good.
In the right situation.
I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think that card will be hit. I think
I don't
Reject
either.
I don't think that's going to get hit either, because one, it's
no,
not that broken.
It's just within the discussion, right?
Sure.
It's not that broken. And it's 4 Dawn. 4 Dawn is a lot for an event like that. Like, it's the right amount is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
If it was 2 or 3, it would be completely broken, obviously.
That'd be just
but I think the 4 Dawn cost, you can't play Hody with it. Hody's 7, so you can't play Hody. It's just the right enough Dawn where you don't have the overpowered combos. So I think it'll be okay. Amaru is up there in the discussion, but I don't think so. Yeah. The last card I have is Onami. What do you think about Onami?
Oh, I wanted to talk
another card that I love, and I don't want them to get rid of it.
All right. Onami. I think Onami is the most broken 2-drop in this. Are you telling me that not only can I use Hiyori
as a character
to stack her on my life to KO a 5 on trigger, I can also use the
KO and KO Borsellino because it's not your opponent's turn, right?
Yeah,
or it is your opponent's turn.
You're telling me I could also, on 10 Dawn, if I'm playing Yamato, I can play my 7-drop Hody, rest 2 blockers, play the Nami, give myself banish, and then I mean obviously there's better scenarios to use it, but
yeah, normally you wouldn't use it on that turn. But I get what you're saying.
Blockers, yeah, just being able to rest blockers and then go right there with the Nami.
Here's the thing.
Giving yourself banish is so busted. It's so busted.
It is, and it's weird. It's weird because banish is best against yellow, and there's almost no banish outside of there's almost no good banish cards outside of Onami.
Yeah,
which is weird.
Which is really weird. There's a Big Mom Pirate that has banish, but he's not that good. It's sharp. It's like the
well, and there's the Jailer Beast one too. The cow one, or Minotaurus, or one of them. One of those guys.
Is she yellow?
No, purple.
Oh yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Oh, you're talking about in yellow.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. Yeah. There's a dude. The new the OPO7, the Magra and Dogra combo card that's coming out. is like I forgot, but it's give up to one of your like 1 cost or less characters ban it or double attack for the turn.
Oh,
that's not banished though.
Oh, can't wait. I'm sure that's gonna
that's
be
kind of wild,
fun.
bro. I just saw that today.
Can't
Yeah,
wait for that.
I thought it was banished, but it's not. But yeah, so Onami is an overpowered card, but it's not Wano. It's only Straw Hat. It's not searchable in a Yamato deck, which is like fair enough. I understand. There's no way to search it right now, really, realistically, in any like good deck.
That's true. Good, thank God.
You could only in like red yellow Sabo. You can search it with Nami Searcher. Because it's Onami.
You're right.
It's a different name.
It's a Straw Hat. Yeah.
So there are a few niche situations where you can search it out, but it's not as strong in a yellow-red Sabo deck, right? It's stronger in these other decks like Enel, Katakuri, and obviously Yamato. But the shitty thing is like Onami didn't need that trigger. Let's just be honest. It didn't need that trigger that it has. The effect is really awesome in Yamato. Yeah, something like that, right? I think it's on the chopping block potentially. I'd put it up there like top 5 potential cards that gets hit. But like we were saying, it has a SP coming out in OP07 for that card. There's no way it's getting banned. Zero chance.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe restricted to 1. Maybe.
It's like Bandai over here putting a
it's one of the best SPs ever made.
Bro, it's putting a defensive
they're like
shield over the card. They're
it's
like,
oh,
sorry.
A wall of money over it.
So sorry. We have a really nice alt art for this card coming out.
No, we would feel so bad for you if we banned it. Yeah. Like that would be so sad for you, the consumer.
How else are you gonna spend $300 on this alt art? Just because it has Nami on it. Oh, and Otama.
And you want to set up 4. Dude. Yeah, and one of the cutest characters of all of Wano.
It's such a great art,
and like the coolest setting. That's my favorite SP that's ever been released so far. And I've only seen it in like the shitty digital versions that they had.
Oh yeah, we haven't even seen what the texture's gonna look like. Can't wait.
No. Soon I'm opening up a box or 2 next weekend when it comes out. Let's go.
Can't wait to watch that video. Shout out Fudulio TCG.
That's crazy, yeah. Yo, let's go.
But I agree. I think there's a chance of that being limited though, for sure.
Yeah. It's a small chance. Not gonna say never, right? That's it for my list. Do you have any other ones? Because there's one last thing I want to talk about because we're talking about ban lists and stuff.
Okay.
All right.
I don't.
We forgot to mention this.
Oh, okay, go ahead. I don't really have anything else that I was thinking on the ban list side. I'm like, I feel like
I think we've covered most of it.
Sakazuki is our problem child, and then I think they're gonna target that. So besides that, yeah, I think we're good.
Okay. One more thing to talk about. Is the boat coming back? Are Kabaji and the boat coming back? Because they didn't specify whether it's like just an updated like they didn't say clearly that they're not unbanning cards. So it is a possibility that they're unbanning.
Can you imagine?
Kabaji, I actually think Kabaji would be a lot more fair in this meta. There's so much more KO and removal. That it would be like a really spicy take. I don't see it happening, but I actually think it would be a little bit fairer. The boat, bro. No. I want them to unban the boat for like 2 weeks just so we can see what it looks like in real competitive play. Like, but I don't think they should unban it. I want them to. But I don't think they should.
I honestly don't. Y'all remember? You guys when boat wasn't banned? Y'all remember the 2 weeks?
Kind of, yeah. Boat? It feels like so long ago.
Dude, it was. It was like
boat domination.
It was.
I know.
Disgusting, dude. It was disgusting. Like anything that generically can give power to your entire field. I just can't.
And its trigger is play this card. Its trigger is play this card.
It's only a 2-cost card.
That's why you just run. Yeah, and it's 2 cost. And it's searchable. It's searchable with Izo and the Whitebeard Pirates, right?
I shut that shit down now. I'm shutting it down. Bandai, no, but okay, I know that Whitebeard's not like seeing as much play. If they wanted to bring Whitebeard back into the fold, that's what they would have to do. And I think
instead of creating new overtuned cards, why not just unban the boat and see what happens? fuck it, man. Bonnie is gonna be probably one of the most like annoying decks ever to play against. Foxy might be too. Foxy's getting some good support that actually looks pretty dirty.
I will be the best Foxy in it.
Shout out to Foxy.
I will be the best Foxy.
Let's go.
I don't care if that deck is the
baby.
worst deck in the TCG.
I don't think it's gonna be bad.
No, it's actually
gonna be pretty good.
It's kind of good. It's from what I'm seeing in the cards, but okay, that leader altar, bro. Come on, and tell me how we didn't get Afro Luffy altar.
The paddle that's coming out.
We didn't get. We got Afro Luffy card.
We might, right?
Maybe.
Is it?
He's a rare.
It's a rare, right?
It is a rare.
It's just a rare. We will get an SP next set. I guarantee you.
I love the leader card,
Come on,
though. The
maybe.
Foxy leader looks sick.
Keep your hope alive. Yeah.
Anyone who doesn't like the Foxy arc, you're dead to me.
The Foxy leader,
dead to me.
And the Vegapunk. The Vegapunk alt art leader is one of the best leaders I've ever seen. Yeah.
Agreed.
Super cool. I don't love the dragon one, which sucks because I'm most excited for dragon in OPO7. Like it's cool, but the Vegapunk one, there's something about it.
It doesn't. The Vegapunk one. It's amazing. It's first of all, it's the first time.
Yeah.
Vegapunk's still new. He's been in the manga for a year now, but that's still relatively new in One Piece time. So I'm excited for it. But
that's baby. That's baby in One Piece time. But yeah, okay, all right. So that's basically everything. We've talked about Worlds. We've talked about the ban list. Those are just our thoughts. Again, please take all this stuff with a grain of salt, people. These are just our opinions. I'm sure we've forgotten some things or like didn't mention certain things, so apologies on that. But I like talking about this kind of stuff. It's always fun to hear what people are thinking about, right? Yeah.
Well, I like the two perspectives, man. But the fact that you get to talk to your Japanese locals, and I've got the locals down here, and just like just the people we talk to in our circles around here. So
yeah, because outside of you and a few other people, I don't really have a lot of like NA friends that I can talk to about One Piece. And then I'm getting the scoop on some things, right, from the Japanese side of things, and like talking to just the locals. There's a bunch of people there, and when you're all surrounded by each other and you can just ask, and you ask like, what do you think is getting banned, and like 10 people immediately turn to you and just go like Houndblaze. You're like, oh shit, okay, people fucking want Sakazuki out of here.
Yo,
it's
Bandai,
just funny. It's cool.
Word on the
like
street, Bandai, is that Houndblaze is out. Get it out.
Yeah.
So true though.
I don't know though. That's just because where the meta is right now, Sakazuki came back into power at the end of OPO6 and EBO1, so people are like, fuck, man, like, not again, dude.
Well, it's just not a
But like you said, it's cool to get the perspective. Yeah. After a while. Unless I'm a yellow-green Yamato main, so like, I see Sakazuki, I'm just like, let's go, baby, let's go.
That's
almost free win, unless they're just cracked or I like draw like shit, right? I guess it's not that much of a I think it's favored for Yamato. It's obviously not a free win, but I do tend to win most Sakazuki matchups.
100%.
But yeah, I think that's gonna be it. We've already gone on for a little bit longer than we were planning, but it's all good. Just treat this like a podcast. Throw this on in the background, right, and just listen to it. But yeah, Brandon will be back too. We've talked about like doing a few of these like every now and then. It's not an official podcast or anything, but I love doing these videos, man.
Oh yeah.
So thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, man, I love it. Thanks for having me. So I really can't wait to see what we're gonna cook up next. But I mean, we talked about this. Yeah. We have, in North America, we have set 6 dropping. Definitely want to start getting some gameplay, showcase some of the decks. Me and my roommate, my brother, he's got some spicy Wano techs that are very unique, and I think it's actually working pretty well. And a lot of the local scene here in DFW, we've got probably, if not the biggest, probably in the top 5 biggest card communities in the United States. We have lots of great players come from DFW, and we've got a really
Texas is a lot of
scene.
TCG.
Yep. So it is nice to see.
Yeah, shout out to everyone in Texas.
Oh yeah. For sure.
Yeah, I'm from Texas, so I gotta represent.
Right. Let's go, baby.
I'm representing Texas. I'm like the liaison of Texas over in Japan right now.
Hell yeah.
I tell people about the ramen. I tell people about the ramen bowl and stuff, so it's cool.
I love it, man. I appreciate it.
Anything you want to shout out as far as like socials or whatever, anything to plug? Doesn't matter if you don't have anything.
Follow the Ramen Bowl live at twitch.com/the Ramen Bowl live. We stream and we do games on there, but we're actually, I don't know how much I can talk about it right now. But there is some big in-person events happening.
Some big things coming. Possibly.
The Ramen Bowl will be involved in some events coming up. So look out for that. We'll be helping.
I cannot wait.
I can't say specifics, NDA.
Right, I know. Yeah.
But there are some cool things coming, and obviously we got Fudelio TCG over here killing it, and we'll keep supporting the homies and trying to do as spicy of takes as we can and piss you guys off as best as possible.
I know, right?
That's the dream.
And like you said, we're gonna try and do some gameplay videos and stuff for OP06. Probably just on the sim, I would assume. But
yeah, it's the easiest way to do it. It's instead of just trying to
We already play and test. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, we already play and test a lot anyway, so look out for those videos. That'll be really fun.
It'll be fun.
I guess
I thought it'd be kind of neat just to do like the Ramen Bowl versus Fudelio TCG. You know what I mean? See, do a little head-to-head battle. It's honestly, what would be cool is like we take like maybe not even the most meta decks and just see like we each pick a deck to play against each other.
Episodes.
Yeah, just fun shit like that. So very
like
cool,
like a little fight night or something. Yeah,
exactly.
I know the Strongest Wizard does some cool videos like that and stuff too. So shout out to all the other people. I'm always inspired by all the YouTubers and the players and everything too. But I think that's gonna be it. Brandon, Chalkrah, the Ramen Bowl. Thank you so much for coming on. He'll be back shortly, and we'll have those videos coming sometime in the near future. But just for now, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
All right.
Peace.
See y'all next time.